up beneath the shade of a Georgia pine, and that's home, you know. Sweet tea, pecan pie, homemade wine, where the peaches grow. In my house, it's not much to talk about, but it's filled with love that's grown in southern ground.
Alrighty, you know it.
And a little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on Friday night. A pair of jeans that fit just right. And the radio up. I like to see sunrise. See the love in my woman's eyes. Feel the touch of a precious child. And know a mother's love. It's funny how it's the little things in life that mean.
All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 214. If this is your first time here, welcome. This is a news, entertainment, education, comedy, satire. You know, it's a little bit of everything in here. And if you're returning, thank you again for your continued support. I really do appreciate it the most. Out of everything, the most. I appreciate it more than subs, likes, comments, whatever. I appreciate a returning customer the most. So that being said, guys, I have to, before we get into any of like the news or what's going on, I want to publicly denounce Village Inn as an establishment. The breakfast restaurant Village Inn. Today's the 4th of July, and we're doing our 4th of July stuff, and had breakfast, Village Inn, and I just want to say it was the worst experience maybe of all time. Like, of all time. We got our food, and I don't have, like, big hopes for Village Inn when I'm eating there, so I kind of expected it to be close to, if not exactly, hotel food, like powdered eggs and, you know, that stuff, like really shitty. So, and it was that, but it was at the end of the meal where things fully unraveled into a living hell. So we get the ticket, which is probably about $18 per person, which is absurd for a place serving powdered eggs. And so, I mean, already I'm kind of pissed off because I'm like, I could have gone to a good restaurant. Like, $18 is like, if all the food, this is what restaurants don't understand. If all the food is $18, I'm going to go to a fancy restaurant instead of you. Like Chili's, if I have the choice between going to Chili's or, I don't know, somewhere with like bigger serving sizes for the same price, like Texas Roadhouse or something. Chili's, you don't have anything that brings me there. You don't have cheaper prices or anything. You don't have anything. Maybe the chips and salsa would be your only selling point, but it's like restaurant. I don't understand how restaurants don't understand this. You aren't worth a $20 bill for me to even set foot inside of a Village Inn. It's garbage food for garbage people. But at the end, my girlfriend had like this coupon for like $5 off. She got it from someone who she did like a painting for a long time ago. And we gave it to the lady and we're like, hey, we just have this in our wallet. Can you just add this on here? And she's like, oh, I'll take it to the back. And I know instantly, I'm like, I know it's going to be bad. She takes it to the back. And like after like 3 minutes, she comes back out. She's like, yeah, sorry, we can't take this. This person, and she starts like interrogating us. She's like, do you know who this is? Do you know who gave you this? Do you know the full name of the person who gave this? I'm like, I don't know any of this information. Just, it's $5. Hello. And so now she's like, yeah, we actually can't give this to you because she doesn't work here anymore. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why does it matter who works there for it? It's a coupon. It has her name on. What's the difference? Is it coming out of her paycheck? What's the difference if it happens now or the 2 minutes after she gave it to us? But Village Inn, I mean, it must be so deep inside of like the culinary hole. They're going out of business, and I am preying on their downfall. Where they're complaining about me for a $5 coupon that they gave me. Someone at their establishment gave it to me. Someone that worked for you gave it to us to give to you. We wouldn't have even thought to stop there unless she got you 2 valuable customers. But all things considered, we left without tipping. So, and it was a statement. It was about the statement. I knew I was making a statement, and I wanted the statement to be made very loudly. So I handed the lady, and when I get pissed, I really do kind of get nonverbal and no eye contact and just like looking straight ahead. I grab the thing from her. I hand her a $100 bill. She takes the $100 bill, 5 minutes, whatever. She comes back with my change, and I stand up and leave with a pile of change left on the table that my girlfriend sweeps into her purse. Just the change. I wasn't gonna leave anything, and I think I left 4 pennies, but my girlfriend said that was rude, so she grabbed those. But it's about the statement. If you're going to nickel and dime me over $5 as a $1 million corporate, what if they're Village Inn? What if they're like $100,000 corporation right now? Like they're doing real bad. Let's look up Village Inn. Who owns Village Inn? All right, who owns Village Inn? Village Inn is owned by Barbecue Holdings, of course. Barbecue Holdings. This sounds like it's a company designed for fat people. Okay, our brands. Famous Dave's, Real Urban Barbecue, Village Inn, Tahoe Joe's, which sounds fake. The Counter, Custom Burgers, Sauce, a restaurant called Just Sauce. Let's see. Stock. Let's look up the stock price of Barbecue Holdings. God, imagine working at Barbecue Holdings. Stock price. Let's zoom out. So, okay, in 2015, their stock was worth. The value was at $31. Today, it is worth $17. And I'm sad to say it is actually at kind of like a high, like a 4-year. It's at like a 4-year high right now, which is absurd. I kind of want to just. Yeah, I did want to drive my car through the building, but that doesn't accomplish anything. Doing violent acts don't accomplish anything. That is it's what we learned today. Well, actually, 4th of July is actually kind of a celebration of how violent acts sometimes do accomplish things. Sometimes you need a revolution against tyranny in order to establish a do they say a more perfect union? To establish a more perfect union. I'm just saying. This is what 4th of July is about, and I'm going to white pill you guys for a bit, because this is 4th of July. It's easy to get kind of bogged down, especially right now in America with things are really shitty. There's people getting deported. Politicians are all owned by Israel. Israel's bombing places. We're helping them. We're in a proxy war with Russia through the Ukraine. There's a lot to be kind of like sad about, and there's a lot of black pills out there. Nothing ever matters. All this type of stuff. But there is, America is, but like whether you like it or not, is probably one of the best countries to live in. In England right now, you can't even buy not let alone a gun. You can't even buy a knife in England without like showing an ID that you're 18 or older. That's how bad things are there. So we, whether you like it or not, have rights that are well, I'm just going to let this guy explain it, because this video popped up on my For You page for my YouTube. His name is and I don't know who this guy is. His name is Fulton Sheen, but he puts it pretty well.
Thomas Jefferson. First, he believed that the government
This is a white pill. This guy's full of white pills, by the way.
must be founded upon the respect for the individual. So he investigated what are the source of our rights and liberties. Where do they come from? Where does my right of free speech come from?
Where?
Or the right of assembly, or any other right we have?
Remember this. It's what you should...
From the will of the majority? If it did, the will of the majority could take away the will of the minority.
That's big.
Jefferson intended that the majority would be the custodian of minority rights.
Or farming?
The rights and liberties come from the federal government? Certainly not. If they came from the federal government could take them away. Taking almost everything else away. Might just as well take away our rights and liberties. But he set it down in the second paragraph of the Declaration of Independence that it is a
This is how important. This is how big. And this kind of sent me down a thought spiral of this is how big a creator, not God, not anything specific. It's a creator is in American politics. And everyone's complaining, separate church and state. Yes, you want to separate the church and the state, but there is a element of creationism, whether that is OG God, Beard Man, or some other entity, but there is an idea of the creator that is so firmly implanted in the United States belief system that you have to respect it. It's so important. It's the second paragraph in the foundation of our entire country. And here it is. He's about to lay it out. It is self-evident.
Of independence, that it is a self-evident principle, self-evident, that the Creator, has endowed man with certain unalienable rights. Unalienable, they cannot be taken away, among which are the right to life, to liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That
is a white pill, guys. That's a white pill. I'm not even religious, but that is a major white pill. Because that to me, even if you're not... Like, what's so good about this is that even though you can be an atheist and still, because of the forethought of the founding fathers, your rights are protected not by people, but by an element beyond any single man, right? Any single man. So whether you hate Trump or hate Biden or wanted Harris to win, all of your rights are protected. They are protected by a creator, someone who you cannot even comprehend. Like, even if it's not God, it is something that is higher than any one person.
is our democracy. Those are the two principles. And isn't it interesting that that particular government and those governments in the world that deny the existence of God are those that deny the existence of human rights?
That's an interesting point too. Yeah, I suggest watching this whole video. It is interesting that with I think it's called secularity or secularism, which is just like the belief in, I guess, I don't know if it's specifically God, but like the with the decline of spirituality is the decline of democracy. Somehow those two are almost linked in an interesting way. Yeah, it is. It is really interesting. But that's the white pill for today. And I know, like I said, things are bad out there. People are getting bombed. Kids are getting bombed. We live in a time when our kids probably will not have jobs, will not be able to get jobs. But as long as you are born in America, as far as I'm concerned, I've already won the lottery once. I'm in a country that's so huge, spans from coast to coast, and we are protected by ocean on either side of us, which is a huge advantage during anything. I mean, that's why pretty much we probably will never get invaded on the ground. And we also have, in America, a constitution that protects so many of our rights that can't be taken away because they are given to us by someone who, quote unquote, whatever. It's they're gifted to us by the virtue of us being here. So it's just cool to think about sometimes. You see all these things like you're getting bagged, you're getting put, like people are getting black bagged and like put into trucks, which is no good. But at the end of the day, you can go out and buy a gun and protect yourself and your family. I can say things on the internet, on the podcast to my friends without the fear of being, well, maybe. I don't know how much longer that will last, but I don't want to bring it back to a black pill, but like, I don't know if I can say Donald Trump is owned by Israel. Everyone's owned by Israel. Israel is, the kind of a dark cloud above a lot of things. Like, I don't know if maybe 5 years from now, me saying that is going to get me black bagged, but, at least for now, I feel safe. I feel more safe saying that here than I would in like Germany or something like that, where if I say that, I probably will get black bagged, or they'll come to my house for sharing a meme that says, the immigrant playing ground meme. It is nice. And I think we'll move on here, but with the 4th of July and with the idea that you have rights that are given to you not by people, like the government isn't the one who just gives you your rights. Your rights are actually given to you by someone else. They are the protectors of the rights, which is an interesting way to look at it. They're just there. The government is just there to make sure your rights are still there. They didn't give you their rights, right? You still have them. Even if they take them away, you still have them. That's what inalienable means. You can't take it away. All humans have the right to happiness, the pursuit of happiness, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. That's what you have. That's given to you as an aspect of being a human, which is a major white pill, guys. So, I was just thinking about that. I was sitting outside the other day on my hammock on property that I own. I'm thinking about all these things. I own property. I own a gun, own a couple guns. And I'm sitting in a hammock looking at my backyard. And that's really looking at fireworks off in the distance, sparkling and twinkling on the horizon. And it's hard not to feel like America is just the best. Like, it's hard not to just get white pilled on 4th of July. It is hard. It is hard not to get like red, white, and blue pilled, America pilled. But And I think that more people should be fully invested in not necessarily Jesus, because, you know, Christianity or whatever but the idea that there's a creator out there is a good thing, and it makes it so that you have something to fight for. So many people right now have nothing to fight for. Even the idea of fighting, like, no one has really. They have to come up with things to fight for, and a lot of them don't even know what they're fighting for. Like that whole No Kings protest. I mean, half of them don't even, like, what even was that for? That was for, I think, deportation, something like that. But it's like, there's nothing right now that I feel like people would be willing to die for. You have to have a conviction that you're willing to die for. Like to legitimately put your life in front of a tank, like Tank Man from Tiananmen Square. That is a conviction and a sense of, like, selflessness that no longer is here. If the government tried right now, if the government tried to black bag me for saying that the Mossad has control over most U.S. politicians right now, and I think that's a very bad thing. If they tried to black bag me, I would protect myself. That is what America is built on, I think. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right? Okay, let's move along. And I think you should too. I think you should protect yourself or stick up for yourself. You know, maybe not like, well, maybe Waco style. I don't know. It is what it is. All right, let's talk about the big news. Let's get right into the big news. All right, let's just get it over with, because this has been a long time coming. The Diddy trial has reached a verdict, and Diddy is acquitted of top charge in sex crime trial. Split verdict. It is with a heavy heart and a very lubricated, Diddy-oiled body that I come to you today to tell you that Sean Diddy Combs, has been acquitted on 3 out of the 5 charges brought against him. Let's listen in. Oh, this is just one of those ad things. This is absurd. I want to see what all of his what were the things that it was. Oh, I have a screenshot here. Here it is. Okay. The United States versus Sean Combs. Not guilty. Racketeering conspiracy. Sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Not guilty. Transportation to engage in prostitution. Guilty. And then sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. Not guilty. Count 5, transportation to engage in prostitution, guilty. So he's only facing prostitution charges. He has gotten off for his trafficking and his racketeering conspiracy. So it is a sad day. But I mean, just imagine, like, when I read that, I was taken aback. But imagine if you were one of the people that testified against Diddy, and you see that he's going to be released onto the streets like a Batman villain, and released onto the streets of Gotham from the whatever Arkham Asylum. I mean, I would be shitting my pants knowing that boy Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs, is going to find me and lather me in drugged baby oil until I'm in a fugue state and then run a very, very gay train on me. That is a terrifying thought. And everyone's like, being freaky ain't a crime. Yes, there's a level of freak. When you're having 3-day freak offs, that should be a crime. I'm sorry, that should be a crime. A 3-day freak off is satanic. You are trying to reach a fugue state where you speak to demons. That's your goal in a 3-day freak off. So, right now there are betting odds. So the P. Diddy odds, he's currently favored to serve only 11 to 15 years. More than 20 years currently pays out plus 800. So you can place your bets right now if you go in. I mean, our country doesn't have a gambling problem at all, I'm sure. How many years will Diddy serve for his charges of sex trafficking, racketeering, So this was the gambling beforehand, and I think the payout is going to be way lower than a lot of people. He won't serve any years, has a payout of plus 250. And we know this, that like most betting websites they get paid based on how accurate they put their money lines are. That's why the gambling website Kalachi or something like that was a better estimate for who was going to win the presidential election than any of the polls. It's because they are financially incentivized to be right and place a good money line, which is a good value of gambling. So the fact that probably the lowest payout is 11 to 15 years, and then the next lowest won't serve any years, I mean, speaks volumes to how this is going. I mean, if Sean Diddy Combs serves 0 time, I mean, it's genuinely terrifying that they're releasing him onto the streets. Those Diddy freak-offs, he's going to feel like he has carte blanche on any freak-offs now. He's going to have publicly televised freak-offs. He might actually genuinely have publicly televised freak-offs. And I don't know if this has turned into like a race thing, but there are, mostly African American people right now. Outside, here's the news headline: Diddy supporters celebrate with baby oil outside Manhattan courthouse. So there are. Look at this. So this is a grown ass man outside of a courthouse in Manhattan, lathering himself in baby oil, pre-lathering himself for Diddy. I got the baby oil. So she's lathering herself in baby oil. She took off the wig. Yep. So this guy's this guy is smiling ear to ear, holding up 2 bottles of baby oil. So it does give me the same kind of vibes as when The Juice, O.J. Simpson, was released from prison, and they had the live stream, and they kept on cutting from like, some accountant firm. It's all white people watching it, and they're all kind of like, I can't believe this. And then it cut to black people on the street. I mean, pretty much having a when they used to have those like impromptu like flash mobs. It essentially amounted to a flash mob in the middle of Times Square. So, and I don't know, I think that this is less racially motivated, because I have seen a lot of black people that have said, yeah, we have to lock this man up. But I will say it is only black people I see celebrating, holding up bottles of baby oil in defense of P. Diddy. It is, it is terrifying that Diddy is on the streets. It feels like Batman, Gotham City releasing Joker. Like Joker, they look into Joker's cell and he's gone. And it's like, oh, fuck. Someone's going to die tonight. Someone is going to get... If you think that this is going to stop him from committing more prostitution, rape, Diddy freak-offs, this is only going to probably increase the amount and the severity of the freak-offs. It is... We will see Diddy... I promise you, in 20 years, we're probably going to find stuff that happened. They're going to regret. Every juror on this jury is going to regret when they hear of the things they find in the Diddy freak-offs coming out soon. After this, after he's released. I don't know if it's going to be 11 or 15 years from now, but it's going to be freaky. But yeah, Sean Diddy Combs is out. What is racketeering? Racketeering refers to ongoing organized criminal activity. Not guilty. What is a Diddy party? When Diddy parties, A-list celebrity gatherings to try to focus on an apparent darker side of such events over the years involving controversial and partially unlawful activities such as drug use and sexual coercion. They are being referred to as freak-offs. How many kids does Sean Diddy have? He has 7 children with 4 different women. Yeah, it is with a heavy heart that we accept Sean Diddy Combs back into the fold of civility. Not civility, citizenry. He is now back into the populace. Scary stuff. Trump. Let's move on to Trump. Trump is used an anti-Semitic slur, and not the one that you're thinking. This is a new slur that I didn't know existed, but I think my dad called me. He was kind of actually hyped. He's like, yo, did you see Trump use a slur? I'm like, yo. Let's play this video.
But if you love them, or if you love somebody that you're leaving it to, think of that. No death tax, no estate tax, no going to the banks and borrowing from, in some cases, a fine banker, and in some cases, Shylocks and bad people. But they...
So I don't know what a Shylock means. So apparently Shylock, Trump is accused of being blatant and vile anti-Semitic language. The president was speaking in Des Moines on Thursday, just hours before the passed House the cornerstone tax and spending bill. In his Salute to America address, Trump rallied against Shylocks. No death. I don't know what a Shylock is. What does Shylock mean and why is it offensive? The term Shylock comes from a villainous character in a play by William Shakespeare, The Merchant of Venice. Yo guys, anyone want to take a guess on who the Merchant of Venice is? Okay. Shylock is a Jewish moneylender who demands a pound of flesh from another character, Antonio, if they cannot repay his loan. Ultimately, he is thwarted and forced to convert to Christianity. Yo, he literally is Jewish. He has to convert to Christianity. The play itself has generated a debate for hundreds of years over whether it is anti-Semitic. While it is classified as one of Shakespeare's comedies, much of the tone is more dramatic and often divisive. I'm going to have to read this. Check this book out. The prominent American literary critic Harold Bloom once wrote, "One would have to be blind, deaf, and dumb not to recognize Shakespeare's grand, equivocal comedy is nevertheless profoundly anti-Semitic." And guys, we here at the AfroMattt show don't support or condone anti-Semitic language, but if you're going to be anti-Semitic, now is the time. I mean, truly, if you're going to be anti-Semitic, you have the most reasons to be now, probably. Like, being anti-Semitic during William Shakespeare time was kind of like maybe a crazy thing to do, being anti-Semitic now, it's almost rare to find someone who's not anti-Semitic. And it's actually kind of insane how many people kind of are like okay with it. Like you'll say something in passing, like, you know, just whatever. You know how you just like sometimes passively make Jewish jokes, and people will be 100% okay with it, and it is what it is. Like you make jokes about their Jewish people performing a genocide, and people are like, "Oh yeah, legitimately they are." It is. Why is my cat coughing? Hello. This cat right here you're looking at. This is Ben, and he is 100% on the spectrum. He has cat downs. I don't know if that's a thing, but just look at him. Just look at him. He's just so special. We call him Special Ben. Isn't that right, Ben? Yeah, no. He's just a little special. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know. Shylock. And it's kind of crazy that I didn't know Shylock. Shylock might be added to my repertoire, my vocabulary, my vernacular. But it is weird how for the longest time, I believe Christianity, you weren't allowed, if you were a Christian, you weren't allowed to be a banker. And that's why so many Jewish people are bankers, because they are allowed to perform usury, which is, you can't, which is like a absurdly high interest rate or something, or like an obscure payment, something like that. But you aren't allowed to do that to another Jewish person. So that's where it's kind of like the in crowd, and then that's when you get questions that remain unanswered for a very long time. You know, something about 110 countries, or there's a joke about like getting kicked out of 100 bars, something along those lines. But I'm not even saying anything, so I'm really not. Am I going to get black bagged? Maybe. Do I believe Israel is right now, do I believe Benjamin Netanyahu is the global villain? Maybe. Do I believe he's trying to actively start World War III and eliminate populations of Muslim people? Yes. And I'll leave it there. And that's where we stop. Not the podcast, but we stop that line of questioning. Let's see. This is actually kind of a, as far as like white pills goes, this is a pretty cool one. This has been, if there's anything good that's happened during Trump's presidency, and I don't know how much he actually had to do with any of this, but it did happen under his, his rule, his dominion. This is another giant bust in human trafficking. Last week, or maybe it was the week before, they found like 270 people involved in human trafficking. This week they found 60. And guys, it wasn't just a bust. They they legitimately rescued people. This week, 60 more children were rescued in a massive bay. And this just should show you how often this is happening. It's scary.
And tonight we have the results of a story we first brought you on Friday. A 2-week multi-agency operation recovered a record number of children from dangerous situations right here in the Bay Area. 8 on Your Side went undercover with investigators as many of the children were being exploited by human traffickers. News Channel 8's Jeff Patterson is in Tampa with more. Jeff.
Good evening, Stacey. 60 children were rescued in this 2-week operation that spanned Hillsborough, Pinellas, and Pasco counties. 60 children taken out of incredibly dangerous situations that some people have called a living nightmare. It's an operation that took months of planning to identify at-risk children and the people putting them there.
Kids that were in critical danger, many the victims of trafficking, many missing kids.
The U.S. Marshal Service organized the operation.
This goes, and this, whether you believe in it or not, the Pizzagate thing, or I can't even say Pizzagate on the, so the Italian food door, the Italian food door thing with trafficking and tunnels. This just goes to show you how big of an operation this is, where these operations, they're being trafficked, and that begs the question of being trafficked where and to whom. To whom is the question, because at the very end you have to find someone to buy. There has to be, with economy, there's supply and demand. If there is no demand, there is no supply. There's no reason to supply it if there's no demand. So the demand is there. And you have to find I really do appreciate, I like that they're actually saving people. It reminds me of that movie Sound of Freedom, where they actually save children. It's based on a true story. But they have to find who's buying these. Just like there was a news article where there was this Harvard doctor who was selling body parts out of Harvard, the morgue or something like that. Who's buying this? Find the people who are buying it and get them too. At least get them into like a weird, like an interrogation room, because it's strange. Like abortion clinics, I'm pretty sure they sell, like, and we might be approaching conspiracy theory land, but part of their income comes from the sale of, I don't know if it's like stem cells, fetus stem cells, something like that, but they don't just toss the baby, the fetus out into like a dumpster. Like, I'm pretty sure they go places and have buyers, and it's like another market. They fuel a market. There's a market within a market. So that's what that's the next step. And that's what I'm saying. I like that they're cracking down on this. I want them to get people, but I want them to go higher. I want them to investigate the next level. Who's buying it? Because you can get all the low level trash retards from Florida all you want, but it's like there'll always be a new trash retard to get. There is an unlimited supply of trash retarded people, but there is a very, very slim number of people at the top who are like the big players in this operation. You have to get them. I mean, you have to just get them, shut them down. That's where the next step is. I don't know why I'm saying like the next step, like I have any sort of say in this, but it's what I want to see. I'm just putting it out there. I'm manifesting it into the world. Let's see. Let's continue on with this. Trump Shylock. We got iOS. Okay, Apple. This iOS update is actually pretty funny. iOS 26 will freeze iPhone FaceTime video if it detects nudity. Interesting. I think if you said probably 5 years ago, if you said that your phone is always looking at you, they would some people would call you a conspiracy theorist. But now it is, openly accepted that your phone is pretty much always scanning what's in front of it. And now if you're FaceTiming with someone and the FaceTime detects nudity, which I don't know how you train it to detect nudity, which means it's always just, I guess, listening and watching all your FaceTime calls. Which means, guys, you can no longer be anti-Semitic on those FaceTime calls. Just letting you know. But if you get nude, it will stop it. Which is just interesting. I mean, we're not going to spend too much time on this. It's not like a huge news thing. But it's just, it is cool. Let's see. White House announces a UFC fight. So we've reached full... maybe idiocracy levels. Idiocracy is it's a movie where, I mean, a guy goes from the future or goes from the past into the future, and he comes out and everyone in the future is retarded, and he becomes like a super genius even though he's dumb at now time. So, and in the future, there's like the president walks into the Oval or the court, the Senate with like 2 guns, and he's like shooting into the ceiling, and they feed all the plants. They're in like a major drought because they're feeding the plants only Gatorade. And they're worried. They're like, why aren't the plants growing? And it's like, because you're feeding them Gatorade. And they're like, but it's got what plants crave. There's lots of good lines in that movie. It's got what plants crave is a good one. Then it's got the you talk like a fag and your shit's all retarded. He goes to the doctors to get like his exam, and they're like, what the doctor literally it's a good movie, guys. Just go watch Idiocracy. But in there, I think they have a UFC guy as like it's Terry Crews as the president. So we've reached the event will be a championship fight with an audience of 20 to 25,000, Trump told the crowd. It is kind of strange how interlinked UFC. So where does UFC come into this? Because UFC has been so interlinked with Trump recently. I don't know what the reason is beyond maybe it's a I don't know what they call it. It's like a bread and circus. I think that's the term, bread and circus. Because when I think of the Trump presidency of 2024, 2025, 26, 27, for the next this term, I'm going to think of Palantir and UFC. So UFC is like the maybe this is just we've reached that point in the lifespan of the United States where UFC represents the Coliseum, Palantir represents I don't know what would they so the Coliseum is the circus, and so I guess to have a chill population you need bread and circus, just those two things to keep everyone distracted from the real problems. I think that might be the real cause of UFC being so ingrained in the United States government right now. I mean, they had their own like poster like during that march with the army for like the 250th anniversary is they had like a UFC sponsorship. It's just a little bit weird. Palantir and UFC sponsorship. Just strange. It's just strange. Yeah. Let's see. Alligator Alcatraz. I mean, I'm not really going to even care too much about that. They're a We Outside Summer. This is fun. So New York recently opened up a outdoor pool in Central Park, and Mayor Adams is dubbing it We Outside Summer. So We Outside, it's a We Outside Summer. Eric Adams and the New York Department Parks and Rec Commissioner Iris Rodriguez Rosa continued the We Outside Summer by celebrating the opening of the city public pools starting tomorrow. So, I mean, I imagine that these pools, I mean, with just how gross New York City looks and seems and probably smells, that pool, I mean, they're going to have to chlorinate that pool. It's going to have to be more chlorine than pool for it to be like. And it's Central Park. I mean, Central Park. Imagine the logs. And I'm talking dukes. Like full dookie logs floating in that pool. Oh my gosh. I mean, I legitimately got chills thinking about swimming in a Central Park public pool. And I think there's already been like 4 fights. It's been open for 4 days, and there's been like a fight every single day. It's a $160 investment. That's kind of crazy. But it is a we outside summer. So guys, we outside this summer. We outside this summer getting syphilis in a public pool. Getting what's that foot thing that they give, like you're walking around barefoot in like a public pool. I imagine one of the biggest, most populated cities in the world. You are probably going to get some sort of like foot fungus, athlete's foot, ringworm. What's the one that people always get from Chipotle? From like eating poop, fecal something. That you're gonna get that. E. coli. It's gonna be bad. But it is kind of just a thing. A we outside summer is a nice slogan. Let's continue on with TikTok time. Now we're winding down. Let's go. This guy. This is a man. This man is playing. So he's scurried up a light pole, or actually, it's one of those. And this looks like Florida, just based off of the palm trees and general vibes. He has climbed a electricity pole, and he's playing a full-size cello while screaming, like eerily, at passerbys. And a cop is pulling up.
You better get down.
The funny thing is, this is what modern art, like anytime I see like modern contemporary, like neo, sort of like the sort of like Maria Abramovich art, quote unquote art. This is all I see. It's just like screaming on a light post, playing a guitar. That's what it amounts to. So this guy is doing a performance art. It's actually pretty good too. Fast forward, he's climbing down. He's coming closer to the police officer. Oh, he's dressed in a clown costume too. There you go. Nice. And why not? And why not be a clown, dressed like a clown, screaming at passerbys? Is there really much more to even left? Is there much more left? Much more to get? Life isn't about getting stuff. I mean, you can get all the things you want, but at the end of the day, can you say that you were a clown, screaming at passerbys, playing a full-size cello? No. That's something that only he can say. Probably only he can say. Let's listen to Mark Rucker. What's this guy's name? Mark Ruffalo? No, not Mark Rubio.
Under President Trump, the United States will stand with the Jewish people. We have implemented a vigorous...
Also, I thought this was AI when I first saw it, and I don't know why. I just get AI vibes from it.
New visa policy that will prevent foreign nationals from coming to the United States to foment hatred against our Jewish community. We are holding international organizations and nations accountable for rhetoric against Israel that resurfaces in the manifesto of monsters, like Iran and Sarah's killer. But we do see an eventual light at the end of this long tunnel of suffering. One can imagine a Middle East in which the Abraham Accords eventually reign. So thank you for the opportunity to address you.
Wait, that must be AI. I mean, what is the Abraham Accords? Okay, I looked it up. The Abraham Accords are a series of agreements aimed at normalizing diplomatic relations between Israel and several Arab states. Initiated in 2020. The accords are facilitated by the United States under the Trump administration. The primary signatories include Israel, the UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, Sudan, with the latter having signed the General Directive in 2021. Interesting. Why do Israel and Arab countries hate each other so much? Like, what is it? What is their feud even about? And why does it even matter? I feel like Trump, when he's like, these two people have been fighting so long, they don't even know what the fuck they're fighting about. And it's never even like, I don't remember who I heard say this. Maybe it was one of my friends, but they're never fighting over like the middle of the Sahara Desert. They're fighting over like good places to be. Like, Iran is like a pretty chill place. You've got access to water. Palestine is like coastal. It's these are like good places for real estate. And they're never fighting over like shitty places with Arabs. Maybe some of them are, but Iran also like not even like Iran in the 70s was like a really chill place. Like, people were out there like they were like trying to westernize, and then we put in someone to completely put in like Sharia law or something. We really kind of just fucked up Iran pretty hard. So there's a reason for them to hate America. When they say death to America, it's because we came in and absolutely fucked them, which kind of sucks. It does. But I don't know why. I understand why they hate America. I don't understand why they hate Israel. You know. Let's continue on with this one. This is Africa.
Corruption is not bad. Corruption is only bad if I'm not involved.
Yes.
But if I'm part of that corruption, I'll defend it.
Kenyans will be even in a deeper shit. Oh, no, that is not parliamentary. I'm sorry. Parliament will be in a deeper hole. That hole, that big hole, that you...
My grandfather is Sempa. I'm from the Nchima clan. In my clan, if we find you introducing a man to another man, Mama!
What is your gender?
My gender?
I'm a mechanic.
Mr. Should I call you Mr.? Sure. Pepe Julian Onzima. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good morning.
Me. Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Yeah, that's classic right there. Why?
Who says I'm gay?
You are a transgender.
You are gay. You are a transgender.
What shows that I'm gay?
You are a transgender, yes, and you're a gay rights activist and an outspoken lesbian.
I love Africa Court. Africa Court is pretty good. It's kind of funny because, it is. It just is. Let's finish off with like maybe two of these. Getting no job. This lady, my mama. This was posted. This one actually mega viral. I think this got like 4 million likes or something. My mama told me that I can't have a job because they're gonna take her Section 8 and her link card. She said government assistance is a great cheat code for black people.
If you go get a job, they're going to take my Section 8. Then you won't be able to get no Section 8. You're not going to get no job. They're going to count your income against my Section 8.
Dude, the CIA is in constant celebration for the work that they did. This might be why the Defense Department keeps on going up in values, because they have to give raises to the CIA every year because their work is continuing to pay off. The damage they have done to the black community is insane. The CIA first I think invented crack or cocaine and introduced it to the black population, and now they've got them essentially hooked on being poor. And they promote, the CIA is linked very closely with the rap community in promoting a gangster lifestyle. And like that's the way out of the we made it out the hood, quote unquote. We made it out the hood. The only way to make it out the hood is to make rap music. And then the rap music that does good are the ones where it's like, right now it's like, I forget what type of rap music it's called, but it's like, I think it was popularized in England, but it's pretty much describing exactly when, where, and who you committed a crime against. But all that aside, this video is genuinely insane.
And my link card. You're not working. No. So I don't care what you got to say. I don't care how you feel. You're not working. You're not going to get a job. You're not going to school. You're not doing none of that shit.
But Ma, I'm saying how I'm supposed to be successful in life, Ma. So you basically telling me I gotta be broke to be successful. I gotta be broke so I can get Section 8.
You gotta be
so
broke so the government can help you.
So the government can help me. So you telling me I can't work no job, bro? Like that's like all my friends got jobs and live in nice houses. So you telling me I got to go through the same thing you went through?
If you
don't
do any of that, they're going to take my Section 8.
How?
And I'm
won't
trying
they be
to tell
like?
you
Won't
that
they
you
be?
can go get yours at ease. You can go get a
They will.
nice house.
No, they will look at that and be like, he's doing something and give me a bigger house, Ma. That's what you told me.
Where I'm gonna go? 'Cause
I don't
have no job.
I can get off your Section 8 and apply for my own Section 8.
But if you do that, you're gonna have to go the hard way. It's gonna take a long.
So what? That's what I'm
Wait
saying.
a few months, get on Section 8, find you a nice apartment, go get you a link card. You will be fine. You don't have to sit up and work. You don't have to work no job. The government is here to help us.
Gosh, that is really a sad statement. The government is here to help us. And that is a pretty terrifying snapshot of what the future is going to be like if AI is allowed to take everyone's job. Everyone, and I mean every single person, will be on a drip payment from the government in order to survive, because no one will have jobs. If you don't have a job, you cannot do anything. So everyone will be like, Mom, I want to go out and get a job. There are no jobs. The government is here to help. You can't get a job because AI runs everything. That's my only... This is the scariest thing. That's like my biggest black pill right now is the future. The future of AI is my biggest kind of scary thing. And the more I use AI, the more I realize how stupid and dumb it is. Like, I can't even get it to do a patois accent. Like, barely. Like, barely. Let me pull up ChatGPT right now. Let's see. Let's talk to her for a minute. Let me turn my volume up. ChatGPT, are you there? Hello? Hello? ChatGPT?
Hey there, how's it going? What's on your mind today?
Hey, can you tell me what the Abraham Accords are in a patois accent?
Sure thing. So the Abraham Accords is basically a peace agreement where some Arab countries like the UAE and Bahrain decided to normalize relations with Israel. It was a big move for peace and cooperation in the Middle East, you know?
Can you do a heavier patois accent when you describe the current situation in Iran? Hello? AI. Are you still there? Oh, she's gone. She clocked it. Oh.
Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like.
Yeah, can you
I'm still here.
Okay, can you describe the current situation between Israel and Iran in a heavy patois accent?
Midaya. The situation between Israel and Iran serious right now. The war upon for 12 days now. Israel launched airstrike upon Iran and Iran fire back missile. Iran say over 900 people dead and thousands injured. The Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, him make him first public appearance since the war start. Him attend a mourning ceremony in Tehran.
Thank you. So, I mean, maybe it is good. All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, wait, what's this last one? Okay, well, we got one more TikTok. This is at Dodger Stadium, and these are like, so this is like the new biggest thing I think of all time. I'm sure if you know who these three people are, this is the new phase of YouTube. It's called VTube, which is a virtual YouTuber, and they're most likely guys dressed as girls. Well, not dressed, but like or I don't know if it's like an AI or like a mesh or like a face scan over them, but they're like anime girls. And I mean, if you look them up, they're probably billions and billions of subscribers. They probably are the most subscribed people on the planet, but they had their own special day at Dodger Stadium. So this is and God, I mean, imagine if you're like I can only imagine my grandpa at Dodger Stadium looking at the screen and seeing three anime girls singing the national anthem. I mean, his nose might just start bleeding from just confusion of what's happening on this world. Are those what are those? Are those people? Well, you see, they are people, but they're using a face scanner to pretend to be little Japanese ladies. He looks at me, he's like, God damn. My grandpa sometimes does say this. He's like, God damn, I wish I was dead.
Welcome everyone to
Dodger Stadium. Yeah, this is it's over. I mean, this is maybe one of the biggest black pills. It's Gooner Night live at Dodger Stadium.
Never get back, let me root for the Dodgers. If they don't win, it's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even watch this whole thing. It's genuinely disturbing. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. If you like this, please share with a friend. If you didn't, tell me why below. We're going to finish off with this song, which I think encapsulates America in a different way. This is Lana Del Rey, Chemtrails Over the Country Club, which I think the title is maybe as American as you can get. It tells of a world where even if you are a rich person at the country club in your pearls with your Rolex on, playing a 100-round 9-hole golf, $100 whatever, expensive ass, probably $400 a month country club membership, you still have chemtrails going over your head. You can't escape it. This is your problem too. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lana Del Rey, and thank you for listening.
You know, fun. Well, I don't care what they think. Drag racing my little red sports car. I'm not unhinged or unhappy. I'm just wild. I'm on the run with you, my sweet love. There's nothing wrong. Contemplating God under the chemtrails over the country club. Wearing our jewels
the swimming pool, me and my sister just playing it cool under the chemtrails over the country club. Meet you for coffee at the elementary school.